wanted to play Rigil Beast because, but don't have the Megamind to do that? You're not alone, and here's a really easy way to play them. Greetings, Rigil Agateiades here back on Master Duel for a very new pack and a drastic change in meta. The Tenpai dragons have arrived. Some really don't like how they endgame so quickly and in a way very difficult to respond to, especially with the feud spell. But to me, that's just a match between the sharpest sword and the strongest shield, and I like that. At least more than the strongest coin toss versus the strongest coin toss. The fact that Tenpai goes second also means we get to go first, even if we lose the coin toss, and the deck we're on today especially likes that. The deck we're on is the Rigil Beasts, and they're certainly not the easiest deck to pilot. Designed to use not once per turn effects, one has to loop them as many times as possible to get the most out. And to make it even harder, main deck monsters all come with the restriction of only special summoned once per turn, making the deck extremely prone to imploding. While there are plenty of spreadsheets out there for a maximum return with whatever specific 2-card hands, interactions from your opponents included, early nib, late nib, whatsoever, screw all of that, I only use 10% of my brain. Instead, we're using a combo for less return, but way easier to remember, and most importantly, plays under Shifter. There's no better way to simplify the deck than to use Fisher and Shifter. The deck runs perfectly fine, or even smoother in some cases under Shifter, and clearly, those Mahjong dragons don't like it a lot. Now before we head to the combos, just really quickly about deck building. Really basic list here is all starters and combo pieces. Other than that, it's just the normal hand trap lineup and droplet for going second. Maxi surprisingly weak this time round because Tenpai doesn't give a damn about the cockroach, maybe consider swapping that out for Ghost Ogre, but I'm definitely keeping my own Ash to stop the seeds. Now let's go straight to the combos, because even after simplifying them, they take quite some time. Combo guys out there all come with very specific starting hands, and each with their own specific order of things. There's no way I can remember all of that. So instead, we're only using 2 1-card combos, one for each starter. Ignoring the Elder in combos just makes life so much easier. And if you don't have those starters, just go with the flow. The 2 starters in the deck are Cannahawk and Rampengu. We'll start with the easier Cannahawk line. Start by normal summoning the Cannahawk. If you have the Elder, just normal summon him first and put him aside, screw all the min-maxing. With Cannahawk's soft once per turn effect, we'll banish the new spiritual beast tamer Lara. With Lara's effect on banish, we summon the normal ritual beast tamer Lara from the deck, so we have a tamer on the field. All fusions in our extra deck requires contact fusion with a tamer and a spiritual beast. This makes spiritual beast tamer Lara and Winda very convenient since they're both names at once. And they both sure look pretty. With a tamer and beast on field, we can now contact fusion into the most abused monster ever, Ritual Beast Ulti Cannahawk. Now this is the most complicated part, yet a crucial part of any Ritual Beast combo. Ulti Cannahawk has 2 effects. First effect targets 2 banished Ritual Beast cards to return to the graveyard, and only if you returned any, you get to search a Ritual Beast card. Second effect targets 2 banished Ritual Beast monsters, 1 tamer, 1 beast, and special summons both. Right now we have 3 banished Ritual Beast monsters. The normal Lara was special summoned earlier, so we can't special summon her. Hence what we do is target the normal Lara and one of the rest with the first effect to shuffle into the graveyard, then chain immediately the second effect to special summon. This way we get back both the Cannahawk and the Spiritual Beast Tamer, while the normal Lara reaches the grave and we get to search. We'll fetch a Ritual Beast Tamer when. With small Cannahawk's soft once per turn reset, we can banish another Ritual Beast from our deck. This time we banish Pengu. And with the 2 monsters on the field and all effects used, we link summon Ritual Beast Ulti Kimun Falcos. Mouthful names. With its effect, we banished an ordinary Lara from the graveyard for an extra normal summon. She's the only one in the graveyard if you're under your own Shifter. Normal summon when, special summon the Pengu we banished earlier, and we get to use this effect to send another Ritual Beast to the graveyard for us to use. This time we'll banish a spare Cumin Falcos and send Spiritual Beast Tamer Winda. Once again, effects used, we're now good to go into the new Link 4 Agateiades. Agateiades comes with 3 effects. First, you have the Floodgate effects, that's designed to kill us Satix. Not going to come up a lot unless you're going against me. More useful in that it stops the Phantom of Yugioh. Second effect targets a banished Ritual Beast card and adds it back to the hand, then you gain another extra normal summon. Now before you immediately press onto Agateiades because it's glowing, we need to banish things first. A step you skip if you're under Shifter, but by banishing Winda and Lara in the graveyard, we can summon the new fusion monster Agateiades Drago. Weird names. Very easy to summon since we can use materials in the graveyard. This new fusion is useful whenever you need to banish something. Also gives your Ritual Beasts targeting protection, which is obviously good. With Wen and Winda banished, we can finally use the Link Force effect to add back Wen, and then normal summon her once again and use her effect a second time to bring back Winda. Finally, with Winda and Wen, we can make Outie Cannahawk. Again! While we don't have enough monsters to special summon with the second effect, we can still shuffle cards to the graveyard for a second search. Grab Ritual Beast Steeds and we have a free chain pop in our disposal. If you were under Shifter, make sure you shuffle a Beast and a Tamer, so you can get the Yugioh Drago you skipped earlier. And that's the combo. One card combo that works even under Shifter, so you don't have to remember 20 different combinations. With this, you get a free chain banish from Agateiades, a free chain pop 3 monsters at once with Steeds, and targeting protection for everything but Yugioh Drago. The new Lara in the graveyard is also a one-use destruction protection. Not a very threatening board compared to Protoss and Whiffing the Core, but you still have 4 cards in your hand, and at least you're not messing up your combo and imploding. Second combo, this time with Rampengu. If you're under Shifter, it's the same as the Cannahawk line because Pengu becomes the same as Cannahawk under Shifter, but you have some hoops to jump through if you're stuck with one Pengu alone. Of course, you start with a Pengu normal summon, use this effect, and you send the new Lara to the grave, and we immediately need to jump through the first hoop. To trigger Lara, we have to summon Yugioh Drago early, which results in this combo ending on no targeting protection. But at least it makes the combo work, and you don't implode. With Lara's effect, we summon Cannahawk from the deck, and use this effect to banish the normal Lara. Then we use Yugioh Drago's effect to summon back the new Lara, and we can contact fuse into Outie Cannahawk. Same trick as before with the Outie Cannahawk. We targeted 2 Laras to return to the graveyard, and then chain the second effect to bring back the normal Lara and Pengu. For the search this time, we add the quick play spell Ritual Beast's Bond. This spell is useful when you're trying to go for OTKs, but more importantly this time, we're using it to cheat. Spend Pengu's effect first to send Winda, then we activate Ritual Beast's Bond. With his effect, we banish the 2 Ritual Beasts we control, and summon the new Link 4 directly. Not only does Bond not care about summoning conditions, it also doesn't care what you're using. So if you're stuck on 2 Tamers, you can still use Bond to cheat out any Ritual Beasts in the extra deck, Links included. With Agateiades' effect, we add back the Lara, summon back the Winda, and we can abuse Outie Cannahawk again. Shuffle back Annie too, don't need to worry about Yugioh Drago this time because we used it already, and we add the Steeds from our deck, so we end on the same board with just 1 less Yugioh Drago, all with 1 green penguin. While the board is certainly not the most threatening, these 2 combos not only make you less likely to FTK yourself, but equally importantly, they also save you time. With so many moves to make in Ritual Beast combos, most of the time after all the intense comboing, you end up with barely any time on the clock, leaving you with no time to think on your opponent's turn to decide on how to spend your interruptions. With this simplified combo, we usually get at least a minute left instead, letting you use your free chain removals way more effectively than when trying to use them within 10 seconds without getting a heart attack. That's it with the combos. let's head on to the replays. First replay, and we'll start with Branded for breakfast. Pengu is our starter, but we have the Fisher, so we're using the Cannahawk line. Bait out the Ash with Inheritance, and we're free to combo. Put down the Fisher and our Pengu becomes a Cannahawk, then we summon Elder first for just an extra monster. Search Wen with Ulti Cannahawk, don't forget the trick to take one less shuffle while getting all the monsters back, then make Human Falcos to extra normal summon the Wen. Pengu's effect is reset, so we can send Cannahawk from our deck to the graveyard, which goes straight to Banished under Fisher. Then we normal summon the Wen, brings back the real Cannahawk, and we banish Winder with his effect. Effects used, so we can finally make Ulti Railroutari. Normal summon Wen a second time, bring back the Winder, and we can contact Fuse into Ulti Cannahawk a second time. Slight mistake here, forgot to shuffle back a Beast and Tame Repair for Yugioh Drago, but not a big deal, we just had to use the Winder we had on field. Opponent's turn, and he starts with the Gold Sark newly at 2. If we want more starters / extenders, we can also run that ourselves. Our opponent then summons a Luber to search for Branded Lost. We fire off Cannahawk to bring back 2 Ritual Beasts before using Railroutari here to banish the Branded Lost, because we all know what's coming next. Branded Fusion, take out Ash Blossom that you can't stop with Called By under Fisher. Second duel, and we go against someone choosing to go second. You know what that means. This time we start with a very unorthodox hand. My advice here is to pray as hard as you can. Looking back, I myself have no idea how I worked out that combo on the spot. The only thing I can say is that normal summoning Cannahawk gives you 2 Cannahawk uses, and searching Wen of Ulti Cannahawk goes well with that. The rest, you just go with the flow and keep a list of what you special summoned already. I mean literally. After a while of God knows what I did, not only did we make that weird looking hand work, but we also end on the knocked once per turn Omni Negate of the deck, Ulti Gaia Pilio. Negates anything by banishing a Ritual Beast from our hand, definitely works better against board breakers than just steeds. Opponent's turn, and down comes the Change of Heart. Yugioh Drago prevents it from targeting anyone but itself, then we use this effect to tag out. Our opponent then activates Droplet, but you should have sent a monster. Board breakers out of the way, and down comes the Tenpai. We imperm so they can't search Sangen summoning, and down comes the red one already in hand. Still have our Railroutari, and the Tenpai is out of gas. Stop the field spell search, and Tenpais are just as manageable as any other blind second deck. Third duel, and we go against a very different flavor of Tenpai. Down comes the Shifter, but it's not ours. Questionable card choices. Unfortunately, it comes with a max C. With 3 cards in our opponent's hand, I'll just set a Recruiter and pass. Opponent's turn, and it really is Tenpai. Not sure how they want to play under Shifter, but a red reboot definitely works. Last interaction gone because Droplet can't activate under Shifter, but not sure if the Tenpai player knows how the Recruiter works. Sangen summoning searches red Tenpai, and it's the battle phase. Red Tenpai attacks, but Winder is big enough. Then they synchro summon Bident Dragon. Down goes Winder, but here's a nice surprise. Just like Ritual Beast's Bond, Winder can also cheat out Railroutari, and we suddenly have a free chain removal. Opponents attempt to walk over it with the ridiculously large Trident Dragion, but one simple banish and it's so Jover for them. One more duel, saved for the last because we're going against the true meta deck, Yubelves. And that's a hand I only want to see in the combo demo. Thankfully, with Elder and Andy Beast in hand, there's still a combo for it. Make Ulti Cannahawk to search Small Cannahawk, and just when you thought you're out of banished monsters, just make Yugioh Drago and you get 2 off. This new fusion just fixes so many combos. Summon Cannahawk off Human Falcos, and we can finally banish the new Lara from deck. With 2 banished ritual monsters not yet special summoned, we can use Ulti Cannahawk a second time, this time fetching us Ritual Beast Steeds. Cannahawk reset, and we banish Petofin, the last spiritual beast in our deck. Make a Railroutari, extra normal summon Wen, and we bring back the Petofin. Petofin is also a targeting bounce, so it's definitely worth running in the deck as pinpoint removal. Finally, we make a Cannahawk a 3rd time. That's some serious abuse. grab Ritual Beast spawned, and we pass our turn with 3 maxis in hand. Our opponent starts by opening the Spirit Gates and then normal summoning the Dark Beckoning Beast. We remove the Dark Beckoning Beast as always, but this time they have the Extender. Down comes the Grave Squirmer as a quick effect, and their combo continues. Well, under Max C that is. With them put under the pressure of the Cockroach, they go for the quickest line to lethal, ramming 4 U-Bells into our monsters for 8,000 directly. But they're about to be met with a nasty surprise. Grave Squirmer squirming in the grave brings back a second U-Bell, Mature Chronicle brings back a third, Phantom makes a fourth, and it's the battle phase. Alright, here's something for you to ram into. Ritual Beast spawned banishes both large monsters, and we summon Ulti Petofin in attack position. While it's intended to be a war monster with high defense and destruction protection, ironically, its low attack is what saves us this time. Since it's the battle phase already, our opponent was left with no choice. All they can do now is scramble a board as strong as possible against our horrendously large hand. While their deck can definitely do that, the player himself couldn't, because he's out of time. Little Knight removes the Petofin that he otherwise can't get over, in with the Dog, Phantom, and the Unchained Trap, mandatory U-Bell effect in the end phase that you can't dodge by toggling off, and oof, that's the time limit. That's why I chose a shorter combo ourselves. That was the deck, and it's faring rather well. Stick to the Cannahawk and Pengu 1 card whenever possible, and you can avoid turning your own brain into mush. Also helps that the Tenpai Dragons are running around, because this deck can't go second without Shifter or Droplet. As a deck with so much effort put into their artwork, it's a shame that this deck is so hard to pilot. Hope that the combos I used makes it easy enough for you to pick up as well. If the worst comes, just put down the Fisher, go with the flow, and latest.